the ways that you deal with it, like any kind. One is to validate your pain, right? Acknowledge that you feel this hurt. Hey, I have this pain. And just because you acknowledge the fact that you have pain or that you're dealing with pain is not showing a lack of faith. The fact that you've been hurt in the church space is not an indictment on your faith. If you're hurt, you're hurt. And only when you know you're hurt and how you're hurt can you deal with it, right? You go to the doctor and just lay there. You got to tell them where it hurts, right? It hurts here, doc. Otherwise, they're going to, like, what are they, how are they going to know? And so we have to, when we experience hurt, acknowledge what hurt, how it hurt, why it hurt. you know like I said, it could be it hurt because they stole money from me, and now I don't have the money to do. I need, yeah, they hurt because you took advantage of my innocence and touched me in ways that weren't appropriate. Yeah, that's hurt that I can point to you at. But the fact that I'm fragile, or I'm having issues, and I haven't resolved some issues in my life, and so the things that were said hurt me. Perhaps that's something I need to work on myself. So one of the ways that we first have to deal with church hurt is to acknowledge that the hurt exists, and that it actually happened. Um, the other thing is to separate God from people. Okay, this person did this. God did not do it to you. All right, and because this person said this thing and did this thing, we have an expectation that the church is supposed to be this place where the best people are, and they treat you all well. And the truth is, the church is a hospital full of sick people who are dealing with their own problems and issues. And unfortunately, sometimes those problems and issues spill out in their position and place in the church. They may be a worship leader, they may be an usher, they may be one of the singers, one of the musicians, it may be the pastor. But they're having issues, and somehow that spills out into what happens. And we have to learn how to separate God from the people, right? And this is why it's always important, especially in any religious community. I'm saying any religious community. Yes, I'm Christian, but any religious community is to know and study for yourself. Because when you know, when you study for yourself, that's the way you can look at somebody's actions and say that's not of God. The scripture, Romans, Colossians, Isaiah, you can point to things and be like, that's not of God. You may sit in there and say that, but that's not of God. And be able to separate that is important, because when you're able to separate God from the people and what the people did, then you're able to begin to heal, right? Because then you can identify where it's coming from. The other thing is you may have to set some boundaries.